Despite challenges in group visas, India has become the sole market for the United States to have exceeded its pre-pandemic figures, says Jackie Ennis, Vice President, Global Trade Development of Brand USA. Ennis, who was in India recently for the annual Brand USA India Sales and Media Mission, says that a phenomenal response by FIT travelers from India has taken the Indian market in 2023 to over 1.76 million visitors, 20% above the 2019 figures. Besides the gateway cities, the Indian travelers are now seeking more offbeat destinations all across the USA, she adds.
Oh, it's been fantastic. It's been really great. There's something about coming together in one location and not have to, all together, which is really nice. So we have tour operators here, we have media here, and to be all together in one location has really been wonderful. So 2023 we still very much considered a recovery year. But I'm very happy to say that the Indian market for the USA inbound was a phenomenal year. The results of 2023 just came out and the Indian visitation was 1.76 million, which was 20% higher than figures in 2019. So a phenomenal rate of recovery. In fact, actually, India is the only market that has recovered to the extent that it has post-pandemic. All of our other major target markets are actually are recovering, but they're still very much below 2019 numbers. And the Indian market has really developed to be much more FIT driven. Prior to the pandemic in 2019 and before, we saw a lot of group travel to the United States from India. Obviously, we've had some challenges with the group visas, but that hasn't stopped the growth of the FIT traveller. So we're seeing some incredible trends of Indian travellers travelling all over the United States, going to more off the beaten track places, as well as our gateway cities. Of course, they remain really important and well visited by the Indian traveller, but we see a much more adventurous and a much more sophisticated Indian traveller coming to the United States in 2023. In India, certainly I think obviously leisure is our #1 focus. Within the segments that were the best performing, couples and also small groups, small family groups we've seen. So highly tailor-made, customized groups of perhaps generational travel, grandparents traveling with families, with their families and young children, or small groups of couples traveling together. And also honeymooners. I think there was a real pent-up demand for honeymooners also to travel to the United States. Um, 2023 saw us very much kind of getting back into some of the smaller, well, obviously doing events in Mumbai and Delhi, but also saw us looking at the Tier 2 cities, Chandigarh, Hyderabad, Lucknow, and we recognize the incredible opportunity that we have to promote the United States in some of the cities and some of the Indian cities that have much better connectivity to the United States. So our focus is really to continue to emphasize the US as a destination with a diversity of experiences, but also expand that message into the Tier 2 cities and to try and do as many face-to-face events as possible and take our partners with us. Certainly we're seeing new air connectivity almost by the day. Every time I say there's 49 new direct flights into from India into the US, the next day it goes up to 51, or might be 53 by today. But we're seeing a lot of, we're very hopeful for new direct connectivity with the changes at Air India. But we're also very satisfied with the fact that Indigo has now has the code shares with Turkish Airlines and also British Airways. We're seeing huge lift from those tier 2 cities throughout India via Istanbul or via London. And bearing in mind that over 80% of Indian travellers do travel to the US via one stop, it is something that they're used to doing. And the more connectivity that we have from more cities inside of India, the better it is for us.